I buy property, but I allow someone other than the seller to live there for a temporary period of time, and then they refuse to leave.
The things I see other people do that I have not been burned on, but I see it with my buddies, and that is they buy a house and can't get the people out, and that's a disaster waiting. Now, let me expand on that. It's usually not the seller that you can't get out. It's usually the seller's family that you cannot get out of the house, or someone claiming ownership that you cannot get out of the house. Those are problems. I don't really have too much problem getting the actual owner out that's got their money and signed and everything. Those are not things I think you should worry about.
So this is where, like, I buy property, but I allow someone other than the seller to live there for a temporary period of time, and then they refuse to leave.
If it's an obvious tenant, even a bad tenant, I'm not too worried about those, to be honest with you. It's the people that are family and related and claim ownership, okay? Or someone in that house that was promised rent to own, contract for deed in the old days. They were promised these things, and they probably were promised those things, but they will throw up a roadblock to possession and go hire an attorney and legal up on you, and it can be a disaster because you're making your payment to your lender and you're paying the taxes and insurance. They're not, and it can be a disaster for you. But I don't worry about tenants too much. If it's an obvious tenant, even a bad tenant, they don't bother me, and it don't bother me with the actual owners. It's owners' family is the ones that can give you problems. So that's an example. I haven't personally been hurt by that, but I've had friends and customers that have. The other one is, and I'll just call them out, Texas City and a little bit Galveston can be awful hard on you on permits on an old property. Texas City don't want you to remodel that house. They want you to tear it down and build new. So if you've got an old vacant property in Texas City primarily, and it could happen in Galveston as well. We've seen it happen in Galveston. You better make sure you can get a permit before you go close on that house if it's been vacant a while. I have seen that multiple times with my friends.